work is paid this morning by Jack White.
Right, that's quite enough of that. So, hello, here we are. And Chris Barnes is here saying, hi Chris, an early bird. And Andy Rowan's here. Hi Andy, and Mike, and Tosh. Fantastic, hello everybody. Well, that was me starting off with a bit of music while you work. A broadcast from 1960. Now that's actually where I started listening to music. Running around on the kitchen floor as a little kid with these medleys of popular songs, show tunes, film songs and whatnot being played by easy listening bands. The idea was originally that it was music to be played through the speakers in factories to improve productivity. Another way of looking at it is to say it's like the original form of the mashup. Anyway, we've got more people here. Pete's here. Hello Pete. Jumpy. We've got, Rhino, Emily's in, fantastic. We've got a whole audience of people. So what am I going to do? I've got an hour here. What exactly am I going to do? Well, first I'm going to play another musical instrument. I've got here a soprano crumhorn. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. There you go. Marvellous thing. Medieval Renaissance instrument. Sounds like a bee trapped in a glass bottle. Just give me one moment to get it. Fingers in the right place because it's very small finger holes on this. Could anybody actually see me? This is a very washed out picture. Terrible camera in my laptop. Could anybody actually see me going red in the face trying to play that? It's a very simple sort of instrument. It's like a bagpipe in that you don't... It's got a reed tucked away inside this container. But whereas with most reed instruments you play directly onto the reed like that, here it's protected and you just blow. So it's a lot of effort in the blowing because that's the only way you've got of making sure that it pitches properly. Oh look, somebody's telephoning me. Nobody ever telephones me. Why is somebody telephoning me? Hi there, Anne. Oh, hi Emily. Right, okay. Well, yeah, congratulations. You're now going out live on Facebook because I've just started a live Facebook stream about 4 minutes ago. Yeah, you won't find it. You won't find it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to save it at the end and then put it up on YouTube so you can watch it later on. You just won't be able to get on in it while it's going because it's Facebook. It's far too complicated.
That's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to keep it as simple as I possibly can to go with my personality. I'll do that. I'll do that later on. I'm going live for about an hour now, so after 9 o'clock I will send a link through, and you'll all be able to see it. You're okay?
Yeah,
Right, lovely. Okay then. Right, I'll speak to you later. Take care now. Bye. Right, that was my niece Emily calling up to say, how can I get this live stream? So obviously you've heard me sort of explain that Facebook. Oh boy. It's the last day. I've just felt my blood pressure going through the roof every time I try to tangle with this thing. So anyway, where was I? Yes, the crumhorn. Yeah. So it's a reed cap instrument. It's like a bagpipe. You've got to control the pitch of it with your air pressure, which is really tricky and takes a lot of effort. And being a soprano crumhorn, the thing about wind instruments is the higher the pitch, the harder they are to blow, People look at the big ones and think, wow, that must take a lot of wind power, but it's the other way round. It's the little ones that take a lot of puff. So later on, I'll be introducing another medieval instrument, which is a lot easier to play. And I'm completely delighted with it because it was my birthday present to myself. I found this on eBay about 2 weeks ago. The seller didn't know what they were selling. They didn't even know what it was. I got a fantastic price on it, and it's wonderful. Arrived a few days ago. Splendid thing. Anyway, rambling away like mad here. See what's happening on the front over here. Got anybody else? Tosh is here. Nadia's here. Nadia was actually here at 7 o'clock because I forgot to tell her that I meant 8 o'clock British time. So she came in at 8 o'clock German time. Sorry about that, BB. Hope everything's all right. Hi, Malcolm. All right, Phil. Boo from Anthony Binky Welsh. Is that a boo for the music or a boo or just a sort of boo expression of surprise? Mr. Trump has sent a... Oh, he sent hi. Right, okay. Yeah, excellent. Yep. Hi, I wish I was, but I'm not. Where else are we going here? It's like sharing a dressing room again. Happy birthday. That's Chris. Yep. Yes, he's quite used to me sitting in the corner wearing a hat and rambling away like mad. Tracy! Hey! Everything going okay? Good to see you here. And Debbie! Debbie's laughing her head off. I don't know what she's... Who is it, Mike? Oh, right, it was a telephone call. Yeah, it was Emily, my cousin. So Kelvin's here. Oh my God, there's loads of people writing things. Vicky, hi! Lainey says hello. That means that Catherine the Great is here. Hello, Catherine the Great. And somebody please keep reminding me to stare at the camera and not at the screen. It's incredible how your own picture, the moving picture, drags your attention towards it when the camera is actually about 2 inches higher. So I'm trying to do it now, and it's really quite an effort. Also, tell me if I don't speak up. Andy, Waco, you're just here. Oh, okay, Anthony Binky Welsh was just trying to make me jump. Jump? That involves physical effort. Don't do things like that. Crikey. Anyway, hello to Catherine the Great. Now, I'm going to spend a few minutes embarrassing the heck out of Catherine the Great, if I can. Getting serious for a moment, one of the things I am most proud of having done in the last few years was putting a book together for Catherine the Great. Catherine the Great is Catherine Chester's. She's the mother of my good friend Lainey. She'll be 89 this year. She tells everyone this, she never had any education, never really did secondary school or anything, regards herself as functionally illiterate pretty much. But all her life, in between working and bringing up 3 children, and running the family and having a painting and decorating business on the side, she wrote poems. She's always written poems. She's written them down on little scraps of paper in spare moments. A few years ago, one of her friends gave her a big blank book, and she took all the scraps of paper she could find and copied the poems so that they were all in the one place. And she wanted to do something with them, but didn't really know what. So I came along, and I and Lainey basically pinched Catherine's book. I hate calling her Catherine. Kath. Pinched Kath's book. I spent about 2 days typing it all into a computer and then put the whole thing together in a self-published book. We even conned her into doing the cover design for it under the illusion that she was making a birthday card. So here's the book. Don't know if you can see it there. Pull it further back. It's all a bit washed out. Yep, there you go. And I think she was happy with it. I hope she was happy with it. And I'm going to read a poem. This is Positive Thinking by Catherine Chesters. However poor you are, there are others poorer. However sick you are, there is someone more sick. However hungry you are, there are others starving. So stop feeling sorry for yourself. Hold your head up and see all the wonderful things around you. The flowers, the birds, the bees, and all God's creation, and be thankful for what you have. I think that's lovely. So, well done, Kath, and I hope you enjoyed your book. Right, moving on. Where are we got to? Good Lord, it's only 8:10. This is going to... take quite a lot of filling, isn't it? Okay, time for another piece of music, I think. Not that one. Ah, yes. I'm not going to sing along.
Give me your word, your love will never die. Give me your word, you feel the same as I. My heart will beat a lifetime.
There's quite enough of that. I put that in because that was the #1 record in the British pop charts on the day when I was born. Haven't things changed? Amazing. Amazing. Come to think of it, that's the way music has changed in the course of my lifetime, from, you know, the ballads, the variety music, the music hall songs, the stage musicals, through to electric rock and roll music, through the Beatles, through psychedelia, rock, and up to whatever you have now, which is, I don't know what you have now, I don't listen to it anymore. I freely admit to being an old faggot, fart, whatever, and I just don't take an interest in pop music anymore. Sorry about that. Right, where next? Who have we got? Let's scroll down. We've got David Fowler. David Fowler's here. Nadia is jumping. She wants jumping. Ah, God, jumping. That was more like a sort of vague old man surd. Let's try it again. Is that good enough? Right, okay. Doesn't matter if you look at the camera, says Vicky. It's a very good job, because I'm really not looking at the camera. Jason Salford, Jay is here. Happy birthday, says Jay. Enjoying a cup of cheap red. Well, cheers to that, mate. Good shout. Vicky Young says, wow, that's really lovely. Oh, lovely poem. Yes, absolutely. Thanks, guys. I thought it was a terrific poem. Everybody tell her. Pete Martin. Catherine the Great's book, we sort of argued about that. It's self-published. She has copies of it. She wasn't up for putting it on Amazon and selling it as a commercial proposition. But if you want a copy, it can certainly be obtained. Malcolm's here. Mally, hi! And Laney Welsh is here. I thought you were here already, Laney. John Humphreys joined and is sitting quietly in the background. Kelvin, Tennessee Ernie Ford, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, that was a huge hit. It was in the charts for weeks in England. And it meant nothing in America at all. Apparently it was the B-side of something. Ali is here. Alison McQueen, hi! Alright, John. Happy birthday. Mike Fields is here to say, Mike... I don't know, Trevor may be around somewhere. Nadia's in shock. I jumped. Andy Jacobson has joined. He's back again. Right, okay, well that's the comments for the time being. Sorry about the little nose picking thing there. C19 shouldn't be touching my face, but I can't help it. Doesn't matter. I think probably as long as nobody else is touching my face, that's okay. So, the crumhorn. The crumhorn. Medieval music. This is something I'm sort of putting together in the middle of all this self-isolation business at the moment. I've had a passion for it since I was about 15, really, when the Renaissance music boom took off in England in quite a big way. The people like David Munro, the early music consorts, were crossing over. It was that period when a lot of music was crossing over from disciplines, from one side to another. Munro was technically a classical player, but he did TV scores, played on lots of pop records, and had all these wonderful wooden instruments that have fascinated me. And I really wanted to play that kind of thing. And I'm just now, in the last couple of years, beginning to acquire some of the instruments that are involved. So one of my isolation plans is to get some of this medieval music actually recorded. Dig out all my recorders, and these little things that make buzzing noises, and get them up on a YouTube channel. So when that happens, I'll tell everybody, and I'll pass around links on Facebook or wherever, and hopefully people will be vaguely interested in me playing not only medieval music, but probably a few arrangements of rock songs for recorder, because why not? Why not? If it's a good song, you can play it in any kind of musical format. Christine's having a brandy for me. Nice one. Okay. Great, yeah, Hugh Lynch. The charts had not been invented the day I was born. Well, that's right. Yes, they were, what was it, 1953? 1952, 1953? I think, and originally the pop charts were not about records. They were about sheet music. It was sales of sheet music, which was traditionally how the success of a song. The artist wasn't important, it was the music. The record. When the records became the charting items, the emphasis was placed on the recording artist, which made an entire huge transformation to the music business. A little story associated with that. For about 6 months in, I think it was 1965, I was actually what Alan Freeman used to call a pop picker. I've no idea how or why, but suddenly one week I started getting these little folded pieces of paper from the British Record Marketing Board, I think they were called, asking me to fill in my 3 favourite singles of the week and post them back by free post. And it seemed to be, I was part of a polling group. It's the only time I've ever been polled for anything. And for about 6 months I filled in these things and sent them back, and then after 6 months it all stopped, and they didn't want my opinion anymore. But anyway, there you go. In 1965 I can safely say that the Beatles and the Rolling Stones would have been absolutely nowhere without me, because I was putting them in the charts every week. I'm not waiting for a thank you, I don't think it'll happen. David Fowler. Apparently Catherine the Great is made up, and she's delighted to see me, even without glasses. I could put the glasses on. Hello, does that look more familiar to anybody? To me it looks like Cliff Mitchell more, but probably not a good thing. I'm taking them off because it's much easier to see the screen. My eyesight's just a complete mess now. David Fowler also thinks that it's just like being in a dressing room. Ricky Howard's here. Cheers, mate. Good to see you. Dave wants some recorder. Okay, well, I've got some recorder coming up. Let me see. Good Lord, Chris is mentioning Al Martino. Andy Jakeston, good hat, shirt colour. Great. I'm glad somebody noticed. The screen was so washed out that I thought, right, let's do a bit of mix and match here. Get a maroon shirt and a maroon hat and a pair of ridiculous paisley pattern braces. Just to spoil the illusion, if I stand up at any point, you will see that I'm wearing a pair of tracky bottoms. Let's not take this dressing up business too far. Kelvin Cavanagh's got a JD and Coke, good man. John Humphreys wants some strip-offs. John, I'm wearing trackies, mate, not fishnet stockings. And if anybody wants to know about the fishnet stockings, I can tell them about it. Yes, he wants the outfit. Have you still got your fishnets, John? Be honest. Answer me. British Market Research Bureau, says Malcolm. Probably right, yeah, he's been looking this up. Nadia does not want to see me in fishnet stockings. Nadia is a very sensible person. So, recorder. Anybody want some recorder? I have got a recorder piece coming up. I mean, I can fiddle around with it a bit. I can just jam, if anybody's interested. Reaching out here for a wooden treble recorder. John claims he wasn't in them. Were you not? Okay. Uh-oh, Laura Smiles is here. Does that mean Joe's here as well, Laura? Because I have a request. Joe made a request. He's the only person to make a request in advance. And it would be fantastic timing to play that round about now, because people are calling for the recorder. Mad fools that they are. Right, okay. Let's try it and see. Where's the backing track disappeared to? Yep, okay, now this is a little piece by Frank Zappa. Those who tuned in when I did a practice run for this and went live by mistake on Saturday have already heard me have a hack at it, but I was playing tenor recorder then, so for the benefit of people who've heard it before, this time I'm playing it on a good old-fashioned early 1970s Dolmetsch school Descant recorder. And it is, as never intended for recorder, by Frank Zappa. Nice long intro for me to figure out where I am. Of blips in there, but generally that was better than the run through on Saturday when I completely lost the plot in the middle of it. Lovely little piece by Frank Zappa called 20 Small Cigars. You'll find it on the 1970 LP release Chunga's Revenge, although it was in fact recorded in the sessions of the classic Hot Rats album in 1969. Can you tell I like Zappa? Know far too much about it. The very sudden ending of the piece, we now know, due to a bunch of archival stuff being released only 4 months ago, is because at that point the pianist played a passing chord to go back into the start of the tune and carry on playing it as a vamp. When he released it, Zappa decided not to have the vamp or the solo, cut it off, but that last chord was short, and it's like that on the album. You don't notice so much because it segues straight into the next piece on the album, but there it is. Little bit of detail. Hi Joe, did you actually catch that at all? I hope you did. Sitting there on Lara's computer, or Lara's sitting there on your computer, one or the other. Anyway, thoroughly enjoyed that. Dave's listening on his iPad and typing on his phone. Wow, okay, so you're right. So you've got a delay. Far out and solid. Excellent. Right. John wants another poem. Okay. I wandered lonely as a cloud. I can't remember how it went. No, that's not good. Malcolm, yes, I totally agree with you there. Facebook should actually have a I'm not quite live, I'm just having a practice kind of setting, with a button that says that on it, so you can go, right, that's great, that's exactly what I need right now. Good Lord. Poor Ryan says that Ella the cat is here and hasn't legged it yet. Ella as a kitten used to take one look at me when I arrived at the house and just run for it completely. All I had to do was say, "Hi Ella," and one disappeared kitten, hiding under the kitchen sink upstairs. But she's getting older, she's getting cool, and possibly she's actually getting a taste for Frank Zappa, which, living in a house with you, Rhino, that's got to happen eventually, I would have thought. So, okay, Joe loved it, nice one, excellent, there you go, Joe. Kelvin Cavanagh, as a clown. Wendy sends her best. Hi Wendy, are you watching or not watching? Doesn't matter really. It's all going to go up on YouTube at the end of the night anyway, so you can come in and have a look and switch off at your leisure, as I would. Ah yes, Dave, you can practice going live by setting the audience to only me. I did. I still went live. Something went wrong. I thought it said only me. Well, it did say only me, but all of a sudden people started turning up in the sidebar saying, "Hello Mike," and I'm going, here I am dressed in a ragged t-shirt, having a practice run of a piece that I haven't learned properly yet. Oh well. So, poems, John, more poems. Govern, I wandered lonely as a clown. How lonely can a clown be? Is it lonely when you're a clown? Do clowns cry tears when you're not around? Okay, boomer. Right, okay, right. Lenny says the cats are all here. All of them? Are the cats actually watching the laptop? Wow, okay. Hi cats! I haven't got any cat food or treats or anything, but if you want a stroke or anything, that's fine. And I hope Mr. Dash behaves himself. He's a bit of a psycho on the quiet, Mr. Dash. Lovely, handsome cat, but just turns on you and rips you to shreds every so often for no apparent reason. So, let me see. A poem. I've got Kath's book handy here. So, what else can I find that would be good to read? Alright, here's one called Scouser's Bezzy Mates, and I'll attempt to do it in a Scouse accent, although it will sound horrible. "Hey, kid, let's go for a bevy. I'm spitting feathers here. I done the lotto last night and never got flipping near. So back to the grindstone. I want nice tonight. When I get home, my mam will have something nice to eat. And if you don't eat it, she'll tip it over your head and freak. So tomorrow we'll go and get wasted and pick up a Judy or two. Don't forget to get washed or they'll never fancy you." Yep, there you go. Scouser's Bezzy Mates. In an appalling travesty of a Scouse accent. But for those who know what I'm talking about, better than Alex used to do. Moving swiftly on. Excellent picture. More live cats. Cat filing its nails. Yeah. Pete, I did actually mention having a euphonium, and I've made no progress at playing it at all. I'm actually very bashful about playing instruments in the house, because I live in a mid-terrace and there are small children around, and I don't really want to scare them out of a year's growth by playing these brass instruments that you simply can't mute. So the euphonium, although I used to play it, I did euphonium for a little bit when I was in school. So I've got a general idea, but not yet. Sorry about that. Wendy asks if I have the sax with me. Yes, I do actually have a saxophone, slightly out of view of the camera, and that will be whipped out in a minute or two. John Humphries laughing his head off. Nadia, you're off. Okay, my dear, thank you for coming. Fabulous to see you. We'll be in touch. Okay, and hopefully we'll all come out of the other side of this and meet again in Germany, which would be wonderful. The saxophone. Okay, well, some of you are probably going to want to run away at this point. As most of you know, I've been playing with the Australian Pink Floyd for, best part of 17 years now. So obviously Pink Floyd's played quite a large part in my musical existence for that period of time. as people know about this, I am regularly asked, can you play us some Pink Floyd? To which my answer is, well, what? You know, I mean, Another Brick in the Wall, it doesn't have any saxophone on it. Do you want me to play you a saxophone solo? It's rather the same as that thing. All saxophonists are familiar with people coming up in pubs and saying, hey mate, do you play that Baker Street? To which the answer is, well, yeah, I can play you the riff at the start of Baker Street. What do you want me to do after that? It's about 20 seconds long. You know, the rest of the song doesn't really have anything except the occasional repeat of that riff. So, in answer to the general request, John Humphrey wants Toxic on sax. It'd be no good without a surf guitar, mate. That's a reference to Dr. Comeover, the band John and I used to be in. Oh, no, Nadi's just off for the poem to understand. Right, okay. She's still here. Still here, folks, hasn't been driven away yet. John and I, in Dr. Comeover, we put together a version of Toxic by Britney Spears. It took remarkably little time, because it's actually like a lot of Britney Spears stuff, it's a good song. It's a good, well-constructed song that you can do in all kinds of ways. In our case, as a sort of dirty, filthy R&B strip music band. But I'm not going to do it on sax. No. Calvin wants to know if I've got any quo. I've got a lot on my hard drive, mates. But no, Pink Floyd. People always ask me to play something, and I thought, well, I should try and organise something around this. So I did, and I'm going to play it now. And if any of the ladies, Emily, Lara, Lorelei, if she's around, this would be a really fantastic time for you to go in the kitchen, put on the kettle, make a hot drink, pour a glass of beer, look out of the window, and come back in about 5 minutes, because I'm going to get a tenor saxophone here, and I'm going to play Great Gig in the Sky. Let's get it going, because of course it's got lots of intro. Saxophone.
Thank you.
Okay, well, there you go. That was the non-vocal version of Great Gig in the Sky. John Humphreys says, "Are you gonna sing it?" Yeah, I could try singing it. You don't want to hear me sing it though, really. Whoa, 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 yeah. No, it's not going to work. It's really never going to work. Apparently Jenna, hi Jenna. Jenna thinks it's lovely. Gosh, I wouldn't have said that. It went all right though. I was playing it this afternoon and struggling to remember some of the bits of it, as Lara and Emily are very familiar with. It's very repetitive, but never exactly repetitive. She sang a lot of the phrases in the same kind of way, so you've just got to learn it by rote and sort the whole thing in order. Otherwise, you'll get hopelessly lost. I did this. Did a gig 16 years ago in Amsterdam with a progressive rock band called Dream Theatre, who had planned to do Dark Side of the Moon on their second night in Amsterdam, and they called up Dick Parry, who was the guy who played all the sax on Dark Side of the Moon originally, and Dick came out with the great line, "No, I'm sorry, I only played Pink Floyd with Pink Floyd." But he then said, "I know this guy in a tribute band who can play this stuff," and gave them my number. So I ended up doing the gig, and they'd flown in from America a lady who had sung on some of their records before as a backing vocalist, terrific singer, marvellous singer, and she turned up and she was supposed to be doing Great Gig in the Sky with one rehearsal, and she'd never even heard it. She had no idea how it went. I spent the whole afternoon going through it with her, and at the end we just concluded, right, okay, do the first section big and up, second section bit quieter, bit more restrained, third section just keep it quiet and restrained and you'll be all right. And she sang it with the right sort of dynamics, but none of the notes are on the record at all. Didn't really matter, the audience loved it. Not quite sure what the moral of that story is. Emily, well, thank you, Emily. I think you're being nice there, but right. Well, that was my Pink Floyd. Ian Jump. I was jamming along with guitar there. Unfortunately, he was playing Paper Plane by the Quo. Well, yeah. Now that's another definition of what you call a mashup, isn't it? Playing two songs at the same time. Right. Well, thanks. There's lots of. Funnily enough, Kelvin was playing Paper Plane on the uke. If I could hear you, then we could get into a three-way thing, but it doesn't work like that, does it? Oh well. Jason, no, play it on a mic stand. I know you can do it. I might try and play it on a crumhorn. Can I play it on a crumhorn? can't do it. Problem with the chrome horn is it's only actually got 9 notes on it. It's just over an octave in range. It's a very simple, basic kind of pipe, so you've got to play things like that little medieval dance tune I played for you earlier, which in the modern era has certainly been a greatest hit. It turns up on pretty much every record of instrumental medieval music that you come across. But whether it was a hit back in the 14th century, who knows? I suspect it's a hit because it's easy to play on the chrome horn. Right, oh, good heavens, 20 to 9. Run out of comments, run out of saxophones. Well, I do have, this could be frightening, I'm probably going to regret saying this, but I do have a ton of karaoke backing tracks here on the hard drive. So if anybody has any requests, I could either try singing them, or I could try playing them even. So here you are. Get your fingers on those keyboards and get those requests in. In the meantime, however, I'm going to look for yes, here we go. Right. Okay, right, well, while we're waiting for the request to come in, then it's R2D2. Ah, yes, the chrome horn. Right, okay, well, I'm going to make a karaoke request myself, so I'm going to sing this for you, and I'm going remarkably late in the day for me. I'm going with 1987.
Boom, boom, aka-laka-laka, boom, 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 aka-laka, boom, 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 aka-laka-laka, boom, 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 aka-laka, boom, 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 aka-laka-laka, boom, boom, aka-laka, boom, 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 aka-laka-laka, boom.
Intro, 18 seconds. It was a night like this 40 million years ago. I lit a cigarette, picked up a monkey skull to go. The sun was spitting fire, the sky was blue as ice. I felt a little tired, so I watched Miami Vice. I walked the dinosaur, I walked the dinosaur, yeah. Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody walk the dinosaur. Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody walk the dinosaur. Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody walk the dinosaur. Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody walk the dinosaur. In a cave, you were painting buffalo. I said I'll be your slave, follow wherever you may go. That night we splayed a rattlesnake and danced beneath the stars. You fell asleep, I stayed awake and watched the passing cars. I walked the dinosaur, I walked the dinosaur. Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody walk the dinosaur. Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody walk the dinosaur. Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody walk the dinosaur. Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody walk the dinosaur. One night I dreamed of New York. You and I roasting new pork in the Statue of Liberty's torch. Elvis landed in a rocket ship. He healed a couple of lepers and then disappeared. And where was his beard? It says instrumental, 35 seconds, so that's a really good opportunity to say, hi everybody, cheers for coming round. Have a glass of wine, have a glass of brandy, whatever you fancy, let's do it. Ooh, sax solo. It's a very good copy of the album, actually. A shadow from the sky, much too big to be a bird. A screaming, crashing noise, louder than I had ever heard. It looked like two big silver trees that somehow learned to soar. Suddenly, a summer's breeze and a mighty lion's roar. I killed the dinosaur. I killed the dinosaur. Yeah. Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody walk the dinosaur. Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody kill the dinosaur. Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody kill the dinosaur. Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody kill the dinosaur. Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody kill the dinosaur. Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody kill the dinosaur. Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody kill the dinosaur. Open the door, get on the floor. Everybody kill the dinosaur. Boom boom, aka like a boom. Boom boom, aka like a boom boom. Boom boom, aka like a boom. Boom boom, aka like a boom boom. Boom boom, aka like a boom. Boom boom, aka like a boom boom. Boom boom, aka like a boom. Boom boom, aka like a boom. Boom boom, aka like a boom. Boom boom, aka like. Oh my god, that fade out goes on forever. Right, okay. I think I need another glass after that. Who have we got here? Chris Barnes wants Hello Mabel. After Was Not Was. Okay. Anthony Hurley. Oh dear. Yeah, well, Tosh has heard that one before too many times. June, says Paul Ryan. And Was Not Was, one of the great bands of the 1980s. People dismiss them. People say, oh, that band that did Walk the Dinosaur. But fantastic, fantastic songs. The rest of that album is full of great songs that have lyrics about people who are messed up and lonely and suicidal, all set to big cheery dance tunes that get you out on the disco floor. I just love the contrast between the words and the music. Rob Thomas, Rob, hey! Haven't seen you for ages. Yep, absolutely. Yes, we should do this. We should do this, definitely. Thank you for the happy birthday greeting. I've got to go on mic here. I've got lots of people laughing. Nadia, you're impressed by my dancing. You didn't see the footwork, it was terrible. Laney, just like being in the Bee. Absolutely, yes. For those who habituate the Beehive pub on Church Road in Tranmere, that has been seen many times, and we're all missing it. We're all looking forward to getting back in there. What have we got? Tracy, better than watching... Mark says it's better than watching EastEnders. Well, yeah. I'd have thought that was obvious. Isn't everything better than watching EastEnders? Crikey. Speaking of which, yeah. One of my many soap opera themes that I occasionally whip out at the side of the stage to irritate people. What? David Fowler used to watch EastEnders every morning. Wow, okay. Oh no! Kelvin, sorry mate, missed most of that, my internet dropped out. Wow. Yes. Pete remembers Kelvin and I doing When I'm Cleaning Windows, which kind of segues into things like the ukulele and soprano saxophone version of Voodoo Child, which is always a great experience. Yep, absolutely, Hugh. Was Not Was. Totally underrated band. Still go back to their albums. Great things to listen to. Well, good Lord, time has passed, and we've got about 10 minutes left. So, has anybody got any sensible karaoke requests that I can maybe play along on? Do I have Hello Mabel? I do have Hello Mabel by the Bonzos. I can try and get it up. Let me just wait a second here. Music, Bonzos. They're in here somewhere. Bonzo Dog Dude on our band. Okay, well, let's see if I can play along with this a little bit. Go people. I say.
That's nice. Hello, Mabel.
Hiya, fellas. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh!
Just putting the saxophone down there. I don't think there are any karaoke versions of Bonzo Dog Doodah Band songs. Pretzel Logic. Good grief. Robbie Williams. Ah, Lainey, your favourite. I know how much you like Robbie. I could probably do that, but I'm not going to. Any Beefheart karaoke tracks? Do you know? I don't know about Beefheart, but I can tell you I've got 3 Frank Zappa karaoke tracks, and one of them is Dynamo Hum, which I'm not going to do. Another one is Dirty Love, and the final one is Valley Girl. A very strange selection. Jason wants the Funky Gibbon. I don't know. It's goodies. Let me just have a look. Let me just have a look in the karaoke file here a moment. Gee, for goodies, what do we have? No, sorry, Jason. Got no goodies backing tracks here. What else was going on? Steely Dan. Got any Steely Dan? Hey. Steely Dan. Okay, let's give this a go for you, Rob. I've got the screen completely covered with windows, so I can't see anything at all. Oh, what happened to the backing track?
Ricky, don't lose that number. Ricky, don't lose that number.
Wow, okay, terrible backing track. I picked the wrong one there. There's about 3 alternatives. I picked the first one that I saw. Obviously should have tried a bit farther. Anyway, Rob, nice one. Thanks for suggesting that. What have we got? Any Elvis, obviously. Court of King Caractacus, no, but I can do Drake the Peg with his extra leg, Tony. Or, no, I'm not doing Two Little Boys. Right, Andy Jacobson doesn't remember taking this much acid. He feels like acid. Chris is popping in to say, I didn't make your birthday card. Who did make it then, Chrissy? Trevor! Trevor's in, right at the last moment. Wow! Hi, Trevor! Yeah! And various other noises. Great old school sax turn. Well, that's because I'm old school, you know. Right, okay, what have we got here? Lily loved it and said, happy birthday. Glad you enjoyed it, Lily. I'm not sure what you enjoyed. Hello, Mabel. Whichever, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Chris Barnes is... right, okay, we've got... Is Ricky still here? Ricky's missing out on a session. Right, okay, Rob. Well, a good shout there. Thoroughly enjoyed playing a bit of Steely Dan. David Fowler. Listened to Bohemian Rhapsody 3 times in a row and I feel a bit sick. Must be the high mercury content. Ka-doom! He's here all week, folks. It's the way he tells them. Lenny Welsh is boogieing by the looks of things. Right, okay. Tony's off. He's got to go to bed. Tony's being a key worker at the moment. Tony being short of occupation because he normally goes out and plays records, and hasn't got anywhere to do it. So Tony's got himself a job as a milkman. So he's going to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning taking milk and groceries around all over the place. Good man. Glad you were here, mate. Rick is still here. Right. Yep. You sleep well, Tony. See you soon. So, well, technically we've reached the end. I mean, yeah, I said 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, and according to the little readout thingy on the computer, it's actually 1 minute past 9. But, I mean, I can keep going for a little bit if anybody wants. I've still got half a glass of wine here, so might as well. So, any more requests? Any more requests? I feel like singing something again. Having murdered one song and murdered half a cup of wine, I'm now feeling in the mood to get carried away. Requests. No, nothing coming in right now. Okay, no problem. I will find the karaoke file, and I've got something here that I can do, but it'll only last a couple of minutes. Let's see where it is. Karaoke, there we are. Splendid. Aha, there we are. Ah! No, it isn't there. Eee. No, it doesn't appear to be circling. Well, it's circling very, very slowly. Right, keep going. Encore. Keep going, mate. Stay as long as you want. Any chance of an after-show party? You should do it once a week. My God. Tops off my bottle. Any miles? Wow, miles karaoke. Well, let's try. Okay, I like that one actually. Let's see where we can go with that. Miles. Try something here. This will be for Hugh and Wendy, if I can find it. Coming up anytime now. 1984. Okay, play along. So this is for Hugh and Wendy, and it's Miles Davis's version of Time After Time. A bit slow on the sax there. So yeah, that was for Hugh and Wendy. Hope I didn't massacre it too much. Jeff, whoa! And good to see you too, young man. How are things doing? Hope you're coping with all this fine. Phil's around. I've got more new comments apparently. Phil, ESP. Oh yeah, right. Notice I choose one of the easy ones. I'm somewhere during this lockdown, I'm actually going to learn Freedom Jazz Dance. It's been on my list of things for years, and I just listen to it and go, you know, it's got to be possible. Lots of people play it, so it must be possible. It's time to have a go. Trevor's egging me on. Great song. Yep, that's your kind of thing. I heard Wendy's request. Well, I made an educated guess there, Hugh. But hope it went down well. Hope you liked it. So, let me see what I can find. I might have to find... I thought I had a karaoke thing here, but... no, it's not come up at all. What a shame. So, unless it's in unsorted somewhere down the end. Now, I know it's in this file somewhere. Nope, it isn't. Oh well, that's another of my great karaoke specialities gone down the drain. Right, let's try another one that nobody's requested, but I'm being careful here and picking things that I know that I've got a vague chance of actually being able to play. Wow, there's so much missing here. I don't know where it's all gone. Yeah, just bear with me for a moment, folks. Scrolling away, you know how it is. No, I can't find it. That's two of my favourite songs that I've not been able to find. Trevor! Oh, you got me a whole lot of sourdough. Right, you're about 4 hours too early. Can you come back at 1 o'clock in the morning when I've just eaten large amounts of American pizza and offer it to me? And I'll say, wow, that's really fantastic, Trevor. I'm really pleased about that. This is a gag referring to an American bus driver who was very eager. And he used to come on the bus half an hour before we'd leave at like 2 o'clock in the morning after the gigs and produce this enormous loaves of sourdough bread and say, you've got to eat all this right away, it's fresh, it's absolutely fresh, it'll be terrible by the morning, you've got to eat it. And we're all sitting there going, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, do I really want to eat a huge amount of bread? And the quick answer is, no, we don't. Right, where are we? What are we doing here? Oh, Paul Ryan, you were going to show us your new purchase. And Malcolm Travis wants to see my new thingy as well. Right, my new thingy. Hang on one moment. This little thingy is a bass quartet. Now, it's the same kind of principle as the crumhorn. It's got a reed cap with a reed inside it. It's actually rather easier to play. It makes a quieter sort of sound, if I can get it right. The only thing is the fingering holes are in really peculiar places, but let's give it a go. That's wonderful! That's wonderful. I absolutely love it. Now, this is possibly the rarest of this kind of breed that you're ever going to come across, so feast your eyes on it. You may very well never see another one. Of all the numerous Renaissance wind instruments, most of them ancestors of the modern wind instruments that you'll find in the orchestra, the court alt is the only one of which no original example survives in collections or museums. All we have for it is a couple of technical drawings and descriptions in a couple of music textbooks. Consequently, it's never really been that popular. The cornemuse, which is much better documented and sounds very similar, was a much more popular instrument back in the 70s and 60s. The court alt you very occasionally came across, and I don't think the company who produced them made that many. They've now gone out of business. All their instruments were made by two guys who did all these hand-finished, hand-built wooden instruments. Their website, which is Moek Recorders, their website contains fingering charts for all of their instruments except the court alt. It just isn't there. So I think it's actually a fairly rare item, and the seller on eBay did not know what it was. He listed it as double reed instrument, which is not really very adequate, but he had enough photographs up that I looked at it and went, you know, that's a bass court alt. I'm sure that's a bass court alt. So I lashed out the cash, and I reckon it's probably worth about 4 times as much as I paid for it. I would not be able to put a price on it. These things are so rare that if I ever wanted to sell it or value it, I'd have to go to an auction house, a specialist auction house, and find somebody who knew about Renaissance instruments and could give me a price. But I reckon this is, I paid 200 quid for this. I reckon it's 1,500 quid, £2,000 worth. But I'm not going to sell it because it makes this great buzzing sound that goes like this. I don't think Mozart was ever intended for a court alt, but what a sound! What a sound! I love that. You're definitely going to be hearing some of this because I'm going to be recording the heck out of this thing, together with the crumhorn and recorder combinations, and get out some of those old medieval pieces that I love and do my own versions. Right, so that was the new thingy, carefully being placed so it doesn't dislaunch anywhere. We started a George thread now. That's okay. Yes, holes in peculiar places. Plenty of those. Malcolm, it's a pity you can't see yourself. It looks like you're blowing it with your nose. Yeah, well, because it's a bass, it's got this weird little. You blow through this. It actually detaches. Goes in the little hole there. There you go, Trevor. What you do is you slip it up. You grease it up. You need to get some grease on it. Let me just get some grease on it. Bit of professional style saxophone lubrication. There we go. And then you find the hole, and please don't attempt this yourselves at home, and you slip it in and jiggle it around a little bit till it's in the right position, which would be that. But as I said to Trevor, the sound actually comes out of there. That's the sound hole, because it's got a double bore. It's too short for the pitch that it plays at, and it plays low notes because the wind goes down one channel and back up another, and the sound comes out there. There's actually, as you can see, the bottom of it there, there's no hole as there normally would be in a wind instrument. You can take that off. There's actually, it's a cap, and you can see there the double bore. The air comes down one channel, stopped by the cap, pushed up the other channel, and gets you a lovely bass sound coming out of here, which is fantastic. I mean, you know, monitoring purposes, you don't need in-ears. You can actually use this thing and hear it as you go. I'm going to have another go because I really, it's new. It's new. It's my special birthday treat. I shall have many happy hours sitting here in isolation, fiddling away with me quartals. Right, placing it carefully so it doesn't fall off anything. Right, where are we? Where are we at? Are you playing that with your nose? No, I'm not playing it with my nose. Nice bong. Well, I am indeed, as Dave Fowler says, I am a wind expert. We won't go further than that. Through Chris's phone, it sounds like a stylophone. We're back on Rolf Harris jokes, are we? Okay. Right, no, I'm not going to sing Two Little Boys, or even Sun Arise, for that matter. So, wow, time has passed again, and I've still got wine left. It's ridiculous. Song requests. Any song requests? Or I can just carry on waffling about historical musical instruments, if you wish. Or interesting music that I used to listen to when I was a kid. Music while you work was a real treat, going back to the start of this thing. And the first song I actually remember absorbing and being able to sing along with it would have been Catch a Falling Star by Perry Como, or rather Perry Como's version of Catch a Falling Star, which was a hit I think in 1958. Although I'm not sure I picked it up that early. It would have been continued to be played on the Light programme for years afterwards, so it may be 59, 60. But it somehow worked its way into my head, and it's still there. I could probably try a karaoke version of it, but no. It's a bit too much like going way too far back in the past, and also trying to sound like Perry Como. Trevor, clever, a bit like a folded labyrinth speaker cabinet. Absolutely, that's right. And they did better than that. There's a thing called a racket, another thing that I'd like to get, which is a forerunner to the modern bassoon. And to get a really deep bass sound, they solved the problem by taking a chest about... It's no more than a foot high, about 6 inches across. And inside it, they placed partitions, so the wind tunnel actually goes like... Let me get this. Goes through about 10 different folds, so you get a really deep bass sound out of an instrument that's about a foot long, and it's just a box with a mouthpiece stuck on top of it that you blow. Very clever bit of design indeed. More practical than the modern day bassoon, in fact, but not as loud. That was always the problem. These instruments were not enormously loud. Oh, I've got to that point in the monologue where I'm almost inaudible. Right, sorry about that. Yes, a bit of a habit. As many people here know, I do like a bit of a mumble on the quiet, especially when I'm thinking up things about medieval instruments. So, love is the answer. Crikey, Trev. Wow. Am I going to be able to... wow, let me see. No, I think Todd Rundgren's beyond me at this point in the night, Trev. Maybe for a later occasion. Maybe there'll be more of these. Who knows? Time for another sip of wine. So, who have we got left? I know Mike Fields left. I saw him say something about that earlier on. Thanks for coming, Mike. Good to see you here. Ah, Carl. Hi there, mate. Comedic jazz, yes. God, I'd almost forgotten about that one. It was the Bandits gig at the Zanzibar, wasn't it? Yeah. Comedic jazz, eh? Yeah. Wasn't anything in particular, that was just me letting my fingers move around a recorder. Where are we going here? They're still here, they're still here, they're still here. Nadia, when will you broadcast again? Well, a question from a masochist there, obviously. I've no idea. Probably when I've recovered from this one. Whoa. Time is gone. Still here, they're still queuing up. Eric Coates. I did Eric Coates at the start, but I think you missed it. Let me go. Let me get here. Oh well, yes, you were here for that, and you forgot your hour and a half, and he forgot. Incredible. Your memory's as good as mine, mate. So that was Eric Coates with Is Calling All Workers, written in 1940 for the Music While You Work programme, which was instituted by the BBC and Ernest Bevin, the government minister. Apparently it was believed to increase productivity enormously in the factories, so it carried on, and in fact played until 1967, when the BBC reorganised and changed from their 3 radio channels: the Light programme, which embodied all pop music, the 3rd programme, which was mostly classical music and literature and so on, and the Home Service, which was what is now Radio 4. A bit more scrolling. What about some Z cars? Dirty Grandma. Can't remember how it goes. I'll skip Z cars, mate, because we're in Liverpool, or we're very close to Liverpool, and Z cars is a bit of a football thing over here, so yet Rhino will probably start foaming at the mouth. Any chance of a Roland Kirk style mashup of crumhorn, sax and recorder? How can I put this? No. Highly unlikely. For a start, you can't actually hang. Roland Kirk did it because he could hang all his instruments from a hook and a strap around the neck. You can't hang this from anything. Well, I suppose you could probably hang it round your neck, but then you can't really play it, can you? Oh, there you go, Trevor. He's singing Z-Cars all by himself. He's carrying on. So yeah, John suggested Toxic earlier, and yeah, I couldn't really get that going either. We appear to have a total of 243 comments. Gosh, you lot have been busy with your keyboards. And 22 people saying like and heart and thumb or laugh. Lots of laughing going on. Great, that's what I like to see. If you play another tune, I'll get me 6 out. Yeah, we do. Actually, we had that with the Muffin Man a couple of years ago in Scam. In Scam, there were 2 girls who travelled all the way from Warrington to Skelmersdale, which will mean nothing to those of you who are living in London, but it's really not very far. And they're dressed up in nurses' uniforms, with a nice. And somewhere about halfway through the set, they sort of marched up into the stage and started getting their tits out, which, it's okay. You know, we're professionals. We carried on playing, as you do. Skelmersdale, ladies and gentlemen. Pete, is that Star Wars? What Trevor's da 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 da? No, it actually looks more like Beethoven's Fifth to me. Star Wars. How does Star Wars go? How does Star Wars go? Remember Star Trek better? Bit of a whistle at the end. It is a recorder's basically a whistle. It's not a flute. It's a whistle with knobs on, or not with knobs on, unless they're very deep bass ones. We got Chris. We got a request. Sing something by. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? The Move had people like Roy Wood and Carl Wayne singing in it. That's way beyond my register, which is fantastically limited. That's why I do the was not was number. It doesn't actually cover a very great amount of notes, and it just kind of fits nicely. Now, what was it I discovered? What was it I discovered the other week that fits? I'm leaving that for Trevor to get back with a comment. Nope, no idea. There was something. I was looking for Procol Harum. Beethoven is da-da-da-da, not da-da-da-da. Well, it could be da-da-da-da, if you're in Darlow, which Trevor is. Dum-dum-dum-dee, dum-dee, dum-dum-dee, dum. Yeah, music in a nutshell. You can't describe it, can you? You can't describe it. Let's have a little technical moment here, actually. Back in a sec. While I was playing the saxophone, you probably didn't notice, because most of it was in my mouth, the extremely funky pink mouthpiece, which I've been trying out. This is something that I was negotiating at the start of the year with a company in France. I remember speaking to you about it, Dave. It's Nadia. Beethoven's Fifth is your colleague's ringtone at work. Presumably, not Z-Cars. Yeah, I remember speaking to Dave about it. It's this company who do personalised mouthpieces and 3D print them They got a batch through to me. They got the first batch through to me about 5 hours before the lockdown started, and they are themselves on lockdown in France. So the normal second stage, whereby I'd get back to them and say, right, it needs to be a bit this, it needs to be a bit that, and they'd print another version, and we'd eventually arrive at something that was what I wanted, and all worked out very nicely. It came to mind, though, because it's a world of adjectives. You describe bright, warm, soft. It's nothing to do with the music itself. It's descriptions of physical sensations that the music seems to evoke. And if you're trying to get a math piece made by somebody, you say, yeah, it's a bit dark toned, can you brighten it up a bit, but I need a little bit more on the top, and a little more muffled down the bottom, which to me seems to be incredibly vague as a description from which to build a math piece blueprint. Still, they seem to be doing a good job. They're all the rage at the moment. All kinds of people are playing them, and since I was working with the Australian Pink Floyd, obviously they made me pink mouth pieces. So I'll be whipping these out once we get back on the road, whenever that may be. Right, chaps. 9:30. I need to refill my drink. I probably need to go to the toilet as well. I'm sure you all wanted to hear that. So I'm going to cut it off at the 1.5 hour point. Thanks to everybody for coming. It's been great fun for me. I no idea what it's been for you at all. I shall look at all your comments, all 258 of them now. Blimey. And I shall nip off, save this video to my hard drive, and it'll be going up on YouTube for anybody who's weird enough to want to see any bits of it again. So, thanks very much. It's been an interesting birthday. It's been very, very, very quiet outside, and I haven't left the house, obviously. Been enjoying it. So thank you for coming and sharing an hour and a half of it with me. Greatly appreciated, chaps. And take care. Everybody stay safe. Love you all.